Welcome to the Magma Classroom, our weekly digital painting study session in partnership with Wacom. This particular classroom series focuses on the basics of digital painting, starting with the fundamentals of value, shapes, light and color. We've done a good few apples and spheres already in previous lessons, tried our hands at some more interesting still life studies, broken down simple landscapes, and even run a gauntlet of timed exercises to speed up the learning process. These 1-hour study sessions are aimed at beginners finding their feet with digital painting, illustrators who want to tackle new subjects to grow their visual library, and more experienced painters wanting to warm up or wind down with something different from their usual work. I'm your host Ryan, the resident artist at Magma, and together we'll be sharpening our skills each week with a new subject to study. Top up your mug and grab your drawing tablet. While you wait, be sure to subscribe if you're not already so that you can stay updated about future sessions. We'll be getting started shortly.
Hey everybody, welcome to the classroom. We have a fun one today. We got an iguana for our first reptile study for this week. Just for those of you joining, if you want to, hey Lega, if you want to join in, you want to come paint with us, we're going to do a 1-hour study. You can spend longer if you want to. Beginners are, of course, welcome. I'll chat a bit through my process. You can find all the info in the stream description. Hey, Mountain Pirate. Who else we got here? So we've got Burning Phoenix and what name is this? Juki. Cool. Welcome. We've got lots of canvases down here. So anyone is welcome to join in. This is all about learning. This is about sharpening our skills. This is going to be a challenging one for me as well. So let's dive in. You guys should all have access to the fancy brushes, to all of our Blaze brushes. That should be enabled, and they will be for the duration of the class. Those of you who haven't yet this month, if you stick around for the study, then you'll also get a 7-day free Blaze trial as part of it. Hey, Eyebrow, up late again. Next month, everyone will have another opportunity to get that Blaze freebie for 7 days. Let's put some music on and then we can get cracking. Not quite sure how I'm going to approach this one. But if we do our usual thing, right? Doesn't matter. If you've never painted something like this before, it doesn't matter. We're gonna lean back and employ our fundamentals and our sort of standard process, which is to first take a moment to analyze what we're going to be painting. What are we looking at here? So we've got a reptile, very textured skin. Okay, a bit tricky to paint all that texture. But we're not going to go in there and paint everything individually unless you do want to spend 40, 60 hours on the piece. That's totally fine. But no, we're not quite going to go with that. These are things that we'll build up over time. What we do see is a very clear distinction or breakup of colors. So let's change that actually. Let's get something a little brighter. So we can group things. Group this into a nice, a nice bold orange. We've got this sort of gray blue, almost turquoise blue over there. We've got an orange patch of things here, and we've got a yellow in this section here. And we can break things down into this. Is a bit way more gray over here. So when it comes to color, we'll start off just putting in just flat sections of, oops, throw my pen around, flat sections of the dominant color, and then we can start adding texture on top of that. The other main thing to do is to get our shapes right. Let's get rid of those lines. You have a very clear circle to be working with right over here. So you can, if you want to start somewhere, you can potentially start at this circle and move around from here, because we can draw some clear lines. Hey Lego, joining us on the canvas, cool. Feel free to grab one down below. I see you have already. Nice. So from here we can easily start drawing some lines and establishing some relationships. Zoom out a little bit. If we just draw a line straight through the middle of this, let's make it brighter. Two things. If we just do a line straight down the middle, we can see that, okay, over here we're going to have this little cavity on top. That'll create a distinct shape. It goes up a little bit and then down. And I'm just simplifying to start, just so we can see what's all there. Okay, it comes down into there, but we can, again, simplify. It comes up and just draw a straight line down. Now, it's not a perfect triangle, but if we were to go from the base of this, it sort of establishes a triangle, which we just cut off over there. Breaking things down into simple shapes. That's all we got to do. Then here, it's not quite in the middle. It's a little bit off to the side, but with this beautiful flap of flesh on this iguana here, it sits off just a little bit to the right. So this line isn't quite in the center, it's a bit to the left. But it's just a, sort of half circle here and up. So if we were to carry on those main lines of that flesh upward, that line's going to be a little closer here and quite a bit further away over here. Just setting up relationships, right? This is if you want to start plotting things out, you want to get it accurate. We can take the time to do this. And then here as well, we can just establish another sort of triangle that we'll cut into over time. And then once you start putting in these big shapes, you have lots of areas of lots of relationships established already that you can keep building on. We got here. I have squeak. That's how I say that, right? Nice. Messing around with with the numerals there. Cool. Feel free to grab a canvas down below if you want to get started. Otherwise, you can keep following me. But the idea here is that we're going to all draw on our own canvases. So that's the main idea. And then once we have these shapes down, we can establish the colors within that. So like I said, we've got this yellow, we've got this very bold orange, we've got quite a bit of gray over here, a grayish blue turquoise, but that's got quite a bit of orange scattered in through it. Lots of different things going on. So let's get into it. You can even start this out. I have a hotkey for what I'm trying to do here. Menu setup. Let's see. Tell I haven't been painting as much as I should be. Clear layer. There we go. We can also see what things look like in grayscale if you want to assess our values. I mean, we don't have a particularly fancy lighting scheme or anything here, so we're not going to derive much information from this, but we can see that we have some clear shadow there. Our light appears to be coming from this direction. We can exaggerate that quite a bit more if we know how these forms sit on top. Obviously, a shadow here, there's shadow under here, into these little folds as well. That can come later. I was just going with a brush that is fully opaque to start. You can use one of the texture brushes if you want to. And squint your eyes. Squint your eyes. Yeah, so now it's done. I stop talking so much and we start painting. How does this work? Okay. Sorry guys, I've got a bit of a cold brewing in my throat. So you might hear a little lozenge of thoughts flipping around my teeth. Don't mind me. Let's paint. Let's purge. Turn off the pressure to size. Bump this up. And actually, I'm going to start off with gray and establish get my sketch down, and then I will. Then I'll start adding in color. Yeah, Burning Phoenix. So I think all the air conditioning, the hot, the cold, constantly bouncing between the two, and the lack of sleep for the last month has all just taken its toll. But I'm back in Tbilisi now. It's a lot quieter. I can sleep. So hopefully I think my body's just like, oh, finally, can we chill now, please? Okay, so we've got that. Draw a line, like I said earlier, we draw a line straight through the middle to establish our relationships. This is quite a decent chunk here. If I try and compare the size of that circle upward, probably here, it's like 1.5 times, maybe. So about there. I'll probably shrink this down, just establish some basic relationships. What's the angle of this? I sometimes find it helpful to kind of ghost a line over the general shape on the reference when I'm trying to copy it, just to get those angles right. So this was maybe a little strong. And let's see. Almost like 3 of these. Goes up, and then goes down. Then with this flash, it won't be the perfect shape, but we're building onto it. It's back and forth, layering and layering and layering. Layering and layering. But I can see, okay, we've got it folds in over here, it comes up, okay, so that's right up against the edge of this. And it turns up. And it wraps around over here. Go. I could probably hide the sequence panel. Got a few others joining us. Fantastic. If you're watching and you want to join, check the stream description. If you are on Twitch and you want to join, just let me know and I'll share all the relevant links, because I know we don't have a stream description there. So I was building it up, building it up, building it up. And we had a triangle that sort of comes along here. You can, of course, go straight to painting if you want to. Painting in colors rather than doing a sketch. Some people are much more comfortable with that. But it depends on how much emphasis you're placing on accuracy to the reference. This I might have even made too tall. Bring it down. And of course, we've got some bumps along the head. So that it goes up, down. How does that relate to this? Okay, it's a little bit in, a little bit in. And then it makes another bump out. Eye, and down towards the snout. So one of the other things to point out about this, we're doing this reptile study because we are kicking off the month of dragons, or the world of dragons theme for our Magma Live sessions. And so we're going to be building a little world together, I suppose, where we do all things related to a story, a world that's got dragons as the central theme. We're going to be doing creatures. So tomorrow in the clubhouse, we're going to be painting dragons. And you could easily adapt this fellow over here into a pretty cool dragon, I would say. That's largely why I chose him. That. I'm quite excited about it. Because for a long time I've wanted to do like the, I don't know if any of you have seen the ArtStation challenges that they do, which is an exercise in world building, but the various elements of it, people will focus in on different elements, like prop design, VFX, keyframe art, all sorts of stuff. And I've always wanted to participate, but haven't had the time or the confidence in my skills just yet to really get into it. And this is kind of sort of a step towards it, I guess. Let's see what it's like. Trying to keep things within a consistent world. Yeah, I was hiding the sequence panel. That's what I was doing. Make a little bit more space. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on the sketch. That's a bit silly. I just wanted to do it for the proportions, primarily. And I want to focus on the head. I don't have to worry about the stuff too much down the side. I want to be a bit expressive. So from here I can go into a bit of color. I want to just fit in this triangle here. This triangle. What is this even? I know nothing about reptile anatomy. I mean, is it an ear? It could be an ear. I mean, these really are like our real world dragons, right? It's so cool. I've always joked about wanting to have a pet iguana. Actually, while we were in Thailand when was it? It was for Christmas. We were on an island there, and there were some guys parading around iguanas for photo opportunities. It's like, oh wow, look, they're so beautiful. I didn't want to engage in the photo op. Didn't like that they were doing that so much. They should be in an awesome environment that I have made for them. And then put all these things. I'll probably have to scale this image down a little bit to fit this in. This nice triangle there. Okay. Enough sketchy sketch. Too much time has been spent on the sketchy sketch. Let's drop in some color. I'm going to start actually with gray, just so that I can have a silhouette to work with, which is probably unnecessary for what I'm doing. Burning Phoenix, we had 2 small lizards when I was growing up. Love their heat rocks and crickets. Nice. A friend of ours had a what is it, like it's like a horned lizard or something. I don't know what type of reptile it was, but his name was Regal, and I think it was appropriately assigned. I could have actually done this without a base layer. I might not even use it. Let's set the layer mode to multiply, because I'm losing my sketch layer. There we go. And away we go. If you want to, if you feel like messing around, well, not messing around, if you feel like taking things further, you've got some reference of a dragon, you're welcome to adapt this fella. Just work with the color scheme and some of the anatomical elements. Eyebrows a machine. Okay, so I'm going to to work on top of this. I'll start off with a clipping mask. A clipping layer. Whoops, wrong one. Hey, Kumquat. Eyebrow on a lot of coffee. To be up this late. Kumquat, if you want to grab a canvas, you're welcome to. Check our sequence panel down below. Just click the film strip icon on the bottom left. We've got lots of canvases if you want to take one for yourself. If we're running low, I can always create a few more. The artisphere, I like that. Okay, and as always, I don't want to color pick from my background. I mean, from my reference. I'm going with quite a desaturated blue here. Oh, it's actually quite a tricky one. You can use your eyedropper to like help you gauge what sort of color it is, but try not to color pick directly from this. Make this bigger. Still just dropping in flat shapes of color. I'll blend things in later. Obviously got blue in there. Quite a bright orange. Obviously the image is also filtered. Lego asks, what animal would you be afraid to see near you? That is a very good question. I'd probably be I would be freaked out if I happened to be standing next to a hippo. That is for darn sure. Oh yeah, as I was saying, this image has obviously been like gone through some filtering and color manipulation, but it's very cool. Let's put it in there. That's not quite the right color. What is this actually? So it is still quite saturated. I'm more or less on track, but yeah, it's just more saturated as well. And we had a kind of yellow. Let's bring in more of that orange. We'll blend things in just now. Let's put the orange down first, then we can bring the yellow on top of it. This is definitely still gray. It's like a light gray, light blue gray. Silver fox gray. Yeah, definitely removed all the grays. I mean the greens. So let's find ourselves a nice yellow here. Put that down. Right there. Let's right over, maybe a bit more yellow. Getting closer, we can do a blend from here. Use that orange. This is very much the color grading of a travel influencer. They all use the same darn color grading. You know it's going to be some influencer when they've pushed the blues and the oranges, taking everything else out. Let's bring this down. Get a bit of background in. Got some blue. Who we got here? SKV, yo, welcome. I love that we have a bunch of regulars joining for these. And some really skilled regulars too. On my toes. On my toes. See up here. We've got sort of pink color in the background. It's like pinkish brown. Bonjour, Peppo. Welcome. You want to come paint with us? Check the stream description. I'm gonna make sure that we've got enough space here. We've got a bunch of canvases open. Quite a turnout. Hell's bells. Impressive stuff. Love it. Love it. I'm super stoked to see that we're getting more people in the classroom sessions. Makes me feel good. Oops. I do need to knock this. There we go. This is kind of towards green. Kind of. Okay. But this background is not important. That's not why I'm here. It's not why I'm here. Cool. Well, hopefully it's interesting to watch in the background. Running out of space on my screen. Like this. Okay. Then we've definitely got this orange back here. Let's do it on the right layer, preferably. But what do you guys think? What would be an animal that you're quite intimidated by, that you wouldn't want to necessarily be in the same space as? I actually wondered with doing this these streams whether I should put like a bit of a warning, because I was going to do snakes as well. That might trigger some phobias. I don't know. Scorpions. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mountain pirate. Yeah, I hear you. I also have a bit of a tendency on my pieces to spend a bit too much time on the backgrounds. I remember I had a thing with a scorpion once. What was I doing? I was sort of kind of working. It was a working vacation thing. And in the morning, it was nice and early. I was going to get up, but it's approaching. Yeah, it's the end of summer. It was late February, beginning of March, I think. About to get up. But I thought, let me read for a little bit first. And I lean over in bed to grab my book. And as I do, I reach to grab the spine of the book, something runs across my hand. And it is a little light scorpion. Lightly colored scorpion. Just make my eyes wide, take a moment, wait a minute, what almost happened to me? I don't know a lot about scorpions, so I don't know, is this like particularly dangerous? What is a Wegman's receipt, and why are you eating it? I only know receipts as a piece of paper. Oh, smaller is dangerous. And it happened really fast, and I didn't see where it's scuttled off to, so I couldn't tell either about whether it had a bigger stinger in the back or what. I didn't get enough information, visual information. But yep, count my lucky stars there for a moment. Well, there you go. Mountain Pirate has given some good advice there. Do not eat your receipts. Might need them for taxes, and they could kill you. Slowly. Well, I mean, based on the lethality of the fact that it's not good for you. It's probably good that you know this. Or if you go eyebrow, go rest well. Have a good one. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna shift my. Yeah, let me just shift my sketch layer down. I'm just gonna paint over it. Thanks for joining as always, man. Such a trooper. We're half an hour in, and I'm abysmally far behind. Okay, this no longer needs to be a multiply layer. That can be normal. Yeah. I don't know how he works so fast. I'm super slow with these things. Well-trained eye, I think. And confident, I think, to just go in with the lasso full generally. I assume he went in with the lasso full. Tool of choice. But that lasso fold definitely speeds up the process a lot. Of course we're gossiping about you. Get out of here. We want to keep going. Get out of here. Go to sleep. Only good things to say. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Hot gas. So shift this down a bit. And let's see these patches of light a bit here. I shouldn't be doing this. This is way too fine of a detail to be doing here. But we do have some here on the snout. Things get darker. Let's see. These things have to go up. Kind of just want to get the sense of these and just get the shape down. This one comes in a bit closer. Don't want to evenly space all of them. Too much regularness. Yeah, Mountain Pirate saying need to be using the lasso full a bit more. Definitely, it's definitely helpful. I do find it is challenging if you're not on a display tablet currently. I think that's there's some settings we need, or some things we need to adjust to make it a bit more efficient. Although it's been a while since I've used it, I don't know if the dev team's ahead of me on that one. But if you're on a screenless tablet, the last thing I remember was that you couldn't see the cursor once you started. I actually think they fixed that, and I'm going to test it right now because I am on an Intuos Pro and I can see if it is working or not. Why all this jibber jabber? It is working. Yes. Cool. So earlier on, when drawing with the lasso full on a screenless tablet, the cursor would disappear. And so it became a little bit more challenging to see what you're doing. But that's been resolved. Okay, let's start blending things a little bit. This one could even... there. That again. Put some light in here. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is do a lot less pressure sensitive kind of work initially, in that I want to put down, be a bit bolder with the color that I drop in very opaque colors at first and then blend in later. This actually goes towards yellow over here. Oh, this is a tricky subject. Darker here. And then Ryan asks himself, myself, why did I make the classroom sessions 1 hour when you choose such subjects? Why? Are you a sucker for punishment? I think so. I think so. And we've got, let's paint over this because we have a different sort of shape. Whoa, what is this canvas reloading madness? How dare you? There we go. Bends in. Bends in. Start version here. This overall is a bit darker. How's the music volume for you guys? I'm asking you now, quite late in the stream. Is it fine? Is it distracting? Is it good? It is quite late in the stream to be asking this. I think it's actually due for a shift. Let's see. There's a part 2 of this track. Audio's good. Okay. Let's shift it though. It'll take a while. This background overall was a bit dark. Now the tricky thing is getting this texture in. And we could stylize that texture. We don't have to go in with the precise dots everywhere. What brush to use for it? Any brush will do. If I take this, shift it, desaturate it, drop it down. How's that look over here? Good work, good work. So these are the flaps. Things desaturate here. So, put a light on here, put a light there. Oh, it's very dark under here. But it blends out, so I'll have to get back to that. That's when I squint my eyes. But see how this gray looks so warm? I mean, so gray looks so cool next to the. What is the key? Yeah, that's the interesting thing with orange. When you shift, you just desaturate all the way. Colors look very blue. I mean, this is very gray. Come all the way to the side here, but it looks almost completely blue here. Yeah. So if, like me right now, you're looking at your piece going, ugh, how, why, how, it's so far from anything yet. How am I supposed to do this in an hour? Don't worry, I'm asking the same questions. Asking all the same questions, and the point is not to have a perfect painting. Purely study. Something you might put in your sketchbook that no one ever has to see. But you made the mistake of doing it on a live stream. Yeah, this definitely takes me a long time to build up something like this. Something with so much texture, but I should just go at it with the texture brush now. Oof. What would be a good one? What would be a good texture brush to use here? Measure this down first. Let's see, what if we first merge this one down, then we merge this one down. There we go. Now we create a new layer, a clipping group. First. Search for the right brush. Maybe one of the chalky ones. If we start with a darker piece. Right. Let's put it in. Then we put the lighter one on top of it. A little extra spread. A little extra spacing. And that gives us some texture. And then we can still add in also individual things. Just so we have a bit of a base texture to work on top of. Actually, what can be quite useful here, which wouldn't really be able to work with too effectively in Magma yet. And you could, but are some photo textures. Where that gets a bit easier is with the warp transform tool, which we're still working on. But that'll make putting texture onto something like this much easier. We're 10 minutes off on the hour, but of course we may keep going. It's fine. Any update on the status of that? That transform tool? Not yet. We've got some other things in beta at the moment that we're refining. Text tool, still gathering more data from our beta users to make sure that we can roll that out confidently. Yeah, when you're a relatively small team, some of these updates take a little while. This could also be a bit darker. Lasso brush is the plan for when you start adding scales. Good idea. Good idea. That could work. quite getting the color right here. Is it quite red? So intensely saturated. Now we can come in with a bit of the light. I want these to be bigger actually. Got some variety. Some variety. Now the problem is, what tool do I normally use here? I normally use the sketchy round. Okay, I want to hone in on eye area now. Oh, bugger. Okay, let's see. So we've got right here. Dark here. Comes up. It's very dark there. So tomorrow, if you guys aren't doing anything too wild, feel like hanging out and drawing, in our clubhouse session, we're going to be painting dragons. This kind of thing is a warm-up for that. Just track the blues in here. Dark color. It seems like it might be a dark blue. Yeah. Just thin, just thin. A black eye, but it's got a bit of yellow in the eye too. Get some of that in. Yellow around the pupil. So I want to pop that in first, then we can go dark. Oh, that should be bigger. That should definitely be bigger. Zoom out a bit more. Overall, I think I've made this eye too small. So let's make some changes here. Paint over it. This out of the way. Bring it a little closer down to the mouth. Just sort of here. So let's get the dark shape in. It does come up quite a bit. Tiny brushes. I'm full. This overall also needs brightness, a bit of orange, a bit of yellow. Guess this orange is quite strong. It's quite strong. It is. Let's see. Just drop it in first, and then we can shape around it. Desaturate that more. Yeah, that's better. Out. Yeah, that's better. So 1 hour certainly was not enough on this one. Very interesting, very interesting. I suppose the lesson here, if we're following Eyebrow's examples, sometimes you could use better tools when your time is limited. So I am unfortunately going to have to step off now. This is still not quite right. I haven't placed things correctly here. I'm going to go a little bit darker here. It's fine. Just exaggerate this. A few extra folds in. Ooh, okay. Let's learn from this. I'm going to give a little self-critique here. Certainly could have gone with better tools to block in areas of color much faster. I'm a bit off in my proportions. This would certainly come down. If I'm copying the reference, this delicious sort of fleshy extension would come down quite a bit further. And yeah, it definitely has a bit more length to it. I'd actually want to exaggerate that quite a bit more. So that's something to learn there. And having perhaps shrunk down my sketch early on so that I can fit in this area, because that's quite nice, which I could still do. I could merge everything and improve that. Let's go right in that area. And maybe being a little bit more bold on the texture brush approach to fill in. And then just do stylized elements. Like here, I can lighten this up. Go down this way. Lighten that. But, you know, with more time, this certainly could go somewhere. Nathan, are we drawing lizard people? Not quite lizard people, just lizards. Just lizards. Doing a study of this iguana in anticipation for tomorrow night, or tomorrow, depending on where you are, just tomorrow's clubhouse session where we'll be painting dragons. I'll have more on that being posted tomorrow morning, seeing as tomorrow is officially August. Didn't want to put it out today, but in all honesty, my little bit of text in the brief is not quite ready yet today. But I will also be providing links to some Pinterest boards just with some inspiration if you're not quite sure what to look for. I'll have some Pinterest boards with plenty of inspiration, which in each image, of course, if you go down the rabbit hole, you can keep yourself busy for quite some time. But hopefully that'll help. But we're breaking things down where each week we're going to focus on a particular element of our world. So we're going to do a little bit of character design, a little bit of creature design. Also, let me not say design. I'm not teaching you how to design these characters, but they'll certainly be the thing we'll be doing. We'll be painting creatures, we'll be painting characters. When it comes to character design, be sure to look out for Udi's workshops on that. Humanoid dragons also allowed for tomorrow. Oh, why not? Why not? I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of like Dragonborn. But perhaps within this world there are some folks, very rare, hardly ever seen, whispers of them, who are part dragon, part human, or humanoidish, take some sort of bipedal form. How do you say that? Bipedal? I have no idea. Lots of room for imagination on this. It's a general overarching theme of dragons. Nothing. Obviously, we all have our own way of working, different skill levels. It's not like we're trying to keep the same visual language and style for this world. Anything, just more to get us on the same thinking page. Let's put it that way. Well, I mean, that's we're delving into D&D territory here. Nathan asking, if we were reborn into another world, what kind of occupancy and race would you like to be? What sort of race and class would you take if you suddenly awoke in Faerun? Or at the gates of Baldur's Gate, which, by the way, I'm very excited for. It looks good. I mean, my go-to, I tend to, when it comes to those kinds of games, when it comes to role-playing games, I tend to go towards sort of support characters with with decent enough offensive capabilities. So I do like to play clerics and druids. Currently, I've got a Loxodon druid named Gamoon. I haven't played in a long time. Yeah, and he's a Circle of the Spores druid. There's a bit of a dark element to him. My previous character was a cleric. I'm not gonna play cleric, keeping everyone alive all the time. This time I want to smash things. But I mean, humanoid elephant? Come on, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, folks. Certainly not the result I would like to have for the session. So I'm gonna need to come back to this, definitely. Time willing. But we're gonna do another one on Thursday, another study, and then I will certainly encourage you to come back to the Clubhouse canvas, which will be open throughout the week. Keep adding your dragons, keep refining your piece if you want to. It'll be good. It'll be good. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you found this challenging, and I'll see you hopefully all tomorrow in the Clubhouse. Happy drawing. Feel free to keep going. I will leave Blaze active for a little while I get some food. So yeah, if you want to keep going for it, feel free. We'll chat again soon. And as soon as I find my loud music, goodbye.